Hello, in this video we'll be discussing the basics behind limiting and excess reagents. So, in a precipitation reaction, you're going to form a solid. And so that solid is going to be reflected by the reactants that you have. So looking at this reaction here, I've left out the products because I want you to get a little experience and a little practice with predicting the products of double replacement reactions, which is what this is. So take a few moments, pause the video if you like, and go ahead and predict what the products of this reaction are going to be. So maybe this is what you got, but there is an intentional error that I put in here. So try to catch the error. Pause the video if you can to sort of spot what the error is in the prediction of these products. So there you go. There was the error. This 2 is missing. And I left this out as to teach a lesson to always check and make sure your reactions are balanced. Because that's a very simple mistake that can cost you the correct answer, because it can dictate how these things go in the long term. And it can make an impact on what your final answer is. So always double check to make sure everything is balanced. So with these products predicted, you'll notice that one of them is aqueous, and this right here is what we were looking for. This is our solid precipitate that's produced from the reaction. Barium sulfate. A fun fact about barium sulfate is often the compound that's used for barium X-rays. And it's used in X-rays as a contrast medium so that the GI tract can show up on X-rays. So in some way or another they'll get this substance into your GI tract, and it'll allow them to actually see the intestines and the stomach and the rest of the GI tract in an X-ray. So fun fact about barium sulfate. So anyway, fun facts aside, what exactly is a limiting and excess reactant? Well, we know that here we have 2 reactants. We have this sodium sulfate and we have this barium nitrate. Both of these reactants are being used to produce this barium sulfate. They're both contributing ions to this product. The barium is being taken from the barium nitrate, and the sulfate is being taken from the sodium sulfate. So because both of these reactants play a role in the creation of this new product, one of them is going to dictate more than the other how much of this can be made. So in any good reaction in the lab, you'll start out with a set amount of one reactant and a set amount of the other. Hypothetically, let's say you had 2 grams of this and 2 grams of this. Well, because of the way that the moles are calculated and the molar mass and the mole-to-mole ratios of the reaction, one of these will contribute completely to the formation of this and will be used up over the course of the reaction. So one of these reactants will be completely used up in order to make this product. That will be your limiting reactant. One of them will be somewhat used and then some will be left over. And that will be your excess reactant because a little bit is left over after the reaction takes place. And it will all depend on how much you start with and what the molar masses are and what the mole-to-mole ratios are. So there is a little bit of math involved in actually calculating how much theoretically of the product can be produced and determining which of these is your limiting and excess reagent. And so that will be discussed in the next video, where we go through an example problem on how to calculate this limiting and excess reagent type question.